The United States has once again stretched the limits of technology, stunning the world with the performance of its newest, officially unveiled combat aircraft. This next-generation air superiority fighter is unlike any plane ever built, offering unmatched capabilities that no other advanced nation on Earth can currently reach or replicate. It marks the beginning of a new era in military aviation, combining lethal firepower that can neutralize threats in a matter of seconds, stealth that hides it from other aircraft and even integrated air defenses, and cutting-edge systems that give it a decisive edge over every other recently developed jet. What exactly can this new fighter actually do? Does this cutting-edge military technology truly break away from everything we've seen before, or is it just hype? Stick with us as we introduce America's latest so-called anti-gravity aircraft, a platform described as virtually impossible to track. According to official hints, the U.S. military now fields a radical design said to evade every known detection system. Its UFO-like shape has stunned researchers, with a profile reminiscent of classic sightings, claiming hypersonic speed, vertical launch and recovery, directed energy weapons, and near-total invisibility. This machine is rewriting the limits of modern air power. The exposure of this technology has sparked intense debate, with rumors and speculation boiling over. In a surprising move, the military has openly rolled out a real space force, pouring gasoline on the fire. The Pentagon has also released multiple videos of unidentified objects in the sky, while a member of Congress has claimed direct encounters with off-world technology. Bit by bit, the curtain is being pulled back, and this breakthrough can no longer be hidden from a curious world. But here's the twist. Those weren't actual UFOs. Instead, those mysterious test runs were actually for a classified aircraft that fuses the strongest traits of today's fighter jets. This platform carries a sharp, triangular profile, a blistering fast engine loosely inspired by Darkstar, advanced NGAD-style AI, and stealth tricks reminiscent of the B-21 Raider. The entire effort is being shaped and refined inside the ranges of Area 51. Rather than optimizing each modern jet in isolation, engineers have folded the newest breakthroughs into a single lethal machine. In a moment, we'll break down these strengths, starting with the next-generation air dominance, level artificial intelligence at its heart. The Air Force's next-generation stealth fighter, a 6th-gen design, is expected to bring advanced AI to sensing, computing, weapons control, networking, and direct drone command from the cockpit. U.S. Air Force Chief of Staff General David Alvin has highlighted the concept of collaborative combat aircraft, a family of unmanned systems built to fly and fight alongside these jets. At the Reagan National Defense Forum in Washington, D.C., he underscored how vital human-machine teaming will be in future wars. In his view, the real advantage comes from pairing human judgment with the speed of AI. The new jet will rely on AI to rapidly process and share information between crewed aircraft and autonomous platforms, sharpening targeting decisions and in-flight communication. Its battle network can sift, analyze, and push data in seconds, allowing split-second reactions when things turn lethal. That same AI brain will scan huge data streams in real time to locate and classify enemy defenses. If a threat pops up, it can quickly crunch the inputs and tell the pilot whether it's a Chinese J-20, a Russian Su-35, or a hostile drone. This kind of instant recognition and response will define the next era of air combat. In simple terms, the anti-gravity craft inherits these 6th-generation US AI tools, giving it a serious edge over rival advanced fighters. Now let's talk about how hard the B-21 Raider is to spot, and how effectively this anti-gravity jet could disappear in the sky. The Raider's extreme low observable design allows it to strike targets that used to be completely off-limits. It can cruise high and deep, gathering critical intelligence and running long-range reconnaissance missions. The anti-gravity craft is widely believed to copy many of those stealth tricks. Take the TR-3B, once hyped as a genuine UFO because of its unusual outline, but better understood as an early testbed for this concept. Manta is a large triangular platform, roughly 620 feet long and 330 feet across. That geometry was chosen very deliberately. It allows the aircraft to move in near-total silence, thanks to advanced aerodynamic shaping and control. This fighter can hover like a helicopter and execute true vertical takeoffs and landings. Inside, a high-frequency magnetic field generator interacts with the Earth's own field, pushing the craft to speeds above 3,000 miles per hour in standard mode and up to roughly 4,300 miles per hour in high-voltage boost. The catch is that this boost drains energy fast and can only be used briefly. A concept once dismissed as science fiction now feels disturbingly real. Just look at the TR-3B. The new craft keeps the triangular outline, but in a more compact, fighter-sized frame. That geometry also supports almost silent flight, thanks to specialized aerodynamic design. One of its standout traits is the engine layout, echoing the F-35 and enabling vertical takeoff and landing. With this setup, the aircraft can touch down almost anywhere, from open fields and strips to rooftops or normal runways. As the concept matured, engineers had to solve the problem of making a platform that was both light and remarkably tough, while still achieving superior stealth. To do that, they drew on the advanced design work behind the B-21 Raider bomber. Hyper-stealth biotechnology, the group linked to the Raider's coating, used cutting-edge stealth materials to create a new absorbing layer for maximum low observability. Engineers created an exotic metamaterial skin that can bend and slow radar waves as they pass through the aircraft's structure. Instead of bouncing energy back to the sender, this smart layer traps and redirects it, turning the jet into a near-vanishing target on military radar scopes and letting it slip dangerously close to hostile defenses before anyone notices. And they didn't stop there. The airframe also carries a radar beam diffusion suite rumored to be born inside Area 51's Black Labs. That package is a showcase of cutting-edge engineering. Even if hostile radars manage to pick up a faint return, this suite floods their screens with deceptive noise, making it virtually impossible to pin down the jet's true position. Layered together, these advanced stealth tricks turn the aircraft into a phantom above the battlefield, a hunter that hits with accuracy and then disappears as if it was never there. And here's the final twist. It can fool human eyes as well. Adaptive skins can project surrounding images onto the fuselage, letting the aircraft quite literally blend into the background. Now, let's talk about the part everyone really waits for on a next-gen fighter: its weapons. The anti-gravity jet rumored out of Area 51 carries an arsenal that feels almost unreal, a showcase of technology that looks decades ahead of today's battlefield. Work on its directed energy suite began around 2014, during a closed-door session hosted by Lockheed Martin. There, elite laser specialists from multiple nations pooled their research to forge the system known as LW2, or Laser Weapon System 2. This cutting-edge laser suite offers multiple firing modes and uses a specialized lens setup that effectively triples its reach compared to the earlier system. In its standard setting, it delivers around 250 kilowatts of power, enough to fry enemy electronics and incoming missiles from roughly 12 miles away. Ever wondered why we almost never get clear, close-up UFO photos? A system like this might be the reason. And trust me, you do not want to be standing where that beam is pointed. And it gets even more extreme. In its high-intensity mode, output surges to about 450 kilowatts, letting it burn through metal in seconds at distances close to 19 miles. That combination of range and punch makes the LW2 one of the most formidable laser weapons ever fielded by any military. All of that firepower is fed by a high-frequency power generator that keeps the laser supplied with more than enough energy. With a directed energy suite like this, the aircraft can swat down incoming missiles, shells, and drones, wiping them out in barely 1 or 2 seconds. It can also rake enemy jets and helicopters out of the sky, turning them into burning debris in roughly 4 to 5 seconds. This next-level armament makes the anti-gravity fighter a true tyrant of the skies, able to hit first with shocking accuracy and speed. But piloting a machine like this is anything but easy. Pushing past 4,300 miles per hour while staying invisible and firing such weapons demands help beyond a human pilot alone. Normal pilots simply can't endure sustained G-forces and extreme heat, which is why an artificial intelligence system becomes the ideal one to fly the jet. This AI, proven in tests on the Tempest program, handles everything from flight control and navigation to weapons engagements and sharing reconnaissance data with other aircraft. It also streams information back to a command center, where a human operator can step in if something goes wrong. That mix of human judgment and ultra-fast computing lets combat missions unfold with far fewer complications. The same AI also directs a group of unmanned aerial vehicles operating alongside the fighter. In this architecture, the jet behaves less like a single combat platform and more like an airborne command node with a massive data library. These supporting UAVs generally fall into 2 main categories. First, strike drones can cruise at around 60,000 feet for up to 8 hours, carrying hypersonic anti-armor missiles that sprint at roughly 1,500 miles per hour. Second, reconnaissance drones mount cameras and sensors that sweep everything within a radius of about 75 miles. All of that information flows back to the main fighter, which then cues and commands the attack drones. This setup is brutally effective. Because the mothership rarely has to dogfight directly, the unmanned wingmen do most of the killing. Before long, a new American drone armed with similar laser weapons could join the mix, pushing this high-tech strike package even further. As you've probably guessed by now, nothing in the skies today really compares to this enigmatic jet. Its strength comes from engineers with decades of experience working inside America's most secretive test ranges. Nearly every component of this aircraft is so advanced, it feels ripped straight from a science fiction movie. The team behind it has built a machine that could rewrite the rules of air combat on this planet, and potentially far beyond it. We can only guess what other breakthroughs are still locked behind classified doors. But it's clear the next wave of aircraft will carry abilities far outside what we can fully grasp today. With a variable cycle engine, elite stealth architecture, a distinctive airframe, onboard artificial intelligence, and an escort of loyal drones, this fighter sits at the very top and is virtually impossible to track. And since we're talking about America pushing limits, it's time to look at a new bomber the Pentagon has tried to keep in the shadows. The B-21 Raider, the U.S. Plaint, Air Force's latest entry in the long-range strike bomber program. The Raider is being built to take over from America's aging bombers, ushering in a fresh generation of long-range strategic aircraft. This next-level platform is meant to travel across continents, stay in the air for many hours, and slip past hostile radar networks through advanced stealth shaping and materials. It is expected to haul a wide mix of weapons, from precision conventional munitions to devastating nuclear payloads. The program formally began in 2011 with a high-stakes contest between aerospace heavyweights Boeing, Lockheed Martin, and Northrop Grumman. After roughly 4 years of design battles and cost reviews, Northrop Grumman ultimately won the job of turning this concept into reality, securing the contract to build the B-21, drawing on its long history with stealthy, hard-hitting bombers like the B-2 Spirit. Northrop convinced the U.S. Air Force that it could deliver a cost-effective design while still meeting extremely demanding performance requirements. Keeping costs under control was absolutely central to the Raider's design, especially after the sky-high price tag of the B-2 program. The B-2's unit cost climbed so high it rivaled the GDP of some smaller nations, so making the B-21 both lethal and affordable became a core objective. To field a bomber that was cheaper yet even more capable than the B-2, Northrop Grumman partnered with roughly 400 suppliers spread across 40 U.S. states. These companies have been working virtually non-stop for about 7 years, including through the COVID-19 pandemic. 7 major Tier 1 partners anchor the effort. Engine maker Pratt & Whitney, European defense giant Before Anyone Else Systems, Aerostructures leader Spirit AeroSystems, Northrop's Orbital ATK Unit, Rockwell Collins, GKN Aerospace, and Advanced Composites Specialist, Janicki Industries. Working together under Northrop Grumman's leadership, these industry heavyweights have brought the B-21 to life, a next-generation stealth bomber with a price tag of roughly $630 million per aircraft. Ironically, that eye-watering figure is viewed as a bargain, because even with its cutting-edge systems and advanced design, it still comes in about 68% cheaper than the B-2 while surpassing it in capability. Even after more than 20 years of technological evolution since the Spirit first flew, the B-21 Raider still stands out as a terrifyingly capable weapon. The U.S. Air Force intends to buy at least 100 bombers, potentially stretching the fleet to around 145 if testing goes smoothly. Once operational, it will initially fly beside legacy platforms like the B-52 Stratofortress, B-1 Lancer, and B-2 Spirit, before eventually taking their place and closing the book on their era. One way or another, the United States is fielding a bomber that can showcase American military power almost anywhere on the planet, combining the reach of a blue water warship with the punch of modern nuclear weapons. Its airframe uses aligned edges, sawtooth skin panels, and deeply buried engines tucked behind matte treatments to slash its radar signature. The overall silhouette is a broad flying wing, a form that naturally scatters radar energy and keeps it off enemy scopes. On top of that, the Raider is expected to carry a sensor that reads the brightness of the sky and cues the crew to climb or descend to stay harder to see. Keeping this low observable profile intact means the B-21 has to live inside climate-controlled hangars, facilities that are not cheap to build or operate. To move beyond earlier bombers, the Raider will fly with advanced avionics, including a multi-role radar, a digital navigation suite that fuses radar with GPS, and backup guidance tied to stars and other celestial markers. It will also use radar that can scan in several directions at once, powerful jamming gear to cut enemy communications, and an array of cameras and sensors to lock onto targets. Together, these systems turn the B-21 into a fearsome warplane that blends stealth and striking power to dominate the sky. For planners and commanders, the B-21 effectively becomes a flying command node, pulling in and pushing out information to help manage complex operations and entire strike packages. To keep every subsystem healthy, onboard diagnostics constantly watch and test the bomber's avionics in the background. Like the Spirit before it, the B-21 is expected to haul well over 30,000 pounds of weapons, from B-61 series nuclear bombs to a range of long-range missiles. It can also haul conventional bombs and a range of modern munitions, including long-range missiles capable of striking enemy ships from far out at sea. That loadout makes it an ideal platform for maritime strike missions in contested waters such as the South China Sea. For aviation fans, the frustrating part is how much about this bomber is still locked behind classified walls. Because it is a special access program, and for obvious security reasons, planners want potential adversaries to remain in the dark about the Raider's full bag of tricks. The Air Force is also moving ahead with a new fighter designed to escort the Raider deep into hostile airspace. Washington's strategy is clear: keep U.S. air power in a league of its own, feared and unmatched around the globe. With programs like NGAD, the B-21 Raider, and even rumors of an anti-gravity platform, that vision is quickly turning into reality. Thanks for sticking with us. Before you go, tap the video on your screen to dive into another mission with us. We'll see you there.